On today's video, it's time to give Lilith 5 things they can do in Rise of Kingdoms that are very simple, require minimal coding, and will make a huge impact on the game, making it more free-to-play friendly, making it more fun in general, making the game more balanced, and overall enhancing the experience of all players. These 5 items are very simple to do, and I don't think anyone would not benefit out of them. So sit back, slap a like on the video, and let's go. Hey there YouTube, welcome back to Gekko Gaming. Listen, we're post Baba's post. That kind of worked out. He got an answer from Lilith. We're trying to get a few of the tips and advice that we want for Lilith to implement. And I'll tell you this. We found out through Baba, clearly, that the way to get things done is to talk about it. And the crazy thing is, most people don't realize that the reason Baba was able to reach Lilith is because enough of you people shared his post, talked about it, continually expressed how much he was right or wrong or whatever you expressed. The conversation is what leads it. And so I am going to ask of you one thing. Take this video, watch it. If you have any other comments, any questions, any of suggestions, anything, drop them down below. And then take this video and spread it like wildfire. And no, I'm not only saying it because I want to get more views. It'll be nice to get a ton of views on this video. But realistically, the more of us talk about the changes, if you want the change to happen, we need the community to talk about it more and more and more and more. And so here's a video that you can share where people can put their opinions down below, and I'm fairly confident that Lilith watched my videos and will take us a little bit more seriously if enough people talk about this. Let's get into point number 1 of 5 changes I think that are very simple for Lilith to do to make our lives much more fun in this game. 2 of them come into Heroic Anthem and the Crystal Research system, and the first one is refund a percentage of the time spent researching Heroic Anthem Crystal Researches. What does that mean? It means that if you used speed ups, you'll essentially get a percentage of them back. For every research you finished, a percentage of the time it took to get the research done should be refunded to you at the end of KVK. Why is this a good thing? Because if you're a pay-to-win player, you're going to get some of your speed ups back, which is really nice. If you're not a pay-to-win player and you didn't spend a single speed up on this, then you will still get some speed ups back, which means as a free-to-play player, you could theoretically, you just put researches to research them, and at the end of Heroic Anthem, gain an extra little bag of research speed ups, which you can then use to develop your account if you're not T5, full T5 yet, or into the Heroic Anthem researches next time around. By giving a percentage back of the research time in forms of research speedups, you're going to help the small spenders and help the big spenders by mitigating costs and or giving them something to enjoy as a reward for at least trying to do something, right? So I think that this could be really good, as they anyway are going to restart our researches. This is super simple to implement, and it'll help everybody. Point number 2 is one that requires some compromise. Y'all need to understand that you can't expect of Lilith to just, give the whole house away. Yeah, let's make everything free. Let's just forget about the business. At the end of the day, Rise of Kingdoms is a business and it needs to make money. So we can ask for the extreme free to play, and they can ask for the extreme pay to win, and then somewhere along the way, we're gonna have to find a compromise. So here's the compromise as far as I'm concerned with resetting things like this in Heroic Anthem. I am okay with them resetting researches and them taking away the Research Crystal Research Center. But my compromise is that they leave our crystal mines available. And while Heroic Anthem is not going out, this thing can stop spinning and this thing can be disabled until the next Heroic Anthem, in which you can hit the ground running with the crystal mine already leveled up. Why is that important? It's important because then you can get much more crystals done at a faster rate, in the sense of, if you know that you can now stay away from your computer for 17 hours, in the beginning of Heroic Anthem, you're literally going to have to just sit there and keep putting crystals in, because there's just not enough crystal queue for you to be able to put the crystal mine to work and just go do your thing. I think that leaving us with a crystal mine at the bare minimum is a fair trade. And Crystal Mine work speed can go down as far as I'm concerned, but of course, it should stay at least at the not Bastion level, but at the level that you get out of this. So as you can see, you get a little bit of more crystal hour workload. So this should remain, and this should remain. But other than that, reset everything. That's a compromise. I feel like that's a fair compromise, and it would help everybody. Everybody would get helped with this. Point number 3 is more generic in Rise of Kingdoms, and it's the hardest one of them all to implement. And that is a barbarian coins system. Barbarians at this stage drop a variety of rewards when you kill them. From crystals based on their level to gems, speed ups, tomes of knowledge, resources, and materials. And you're essentially guaranteed to get speed ups, and you're guaranteed to get tomes of knowledge, and you're guaranteed to get resources out of every barbarian you kill. On top of that, there is a lot of different rewards you can get, like these guys. But realistically speaking, the drop rates are abysmal. They keep changing, and they're not transparent enough. I would say that if you're gonna do something, you should add barbarian coins and a barbarian exchange coin shop. This shop will allow players to grind barbarians and exchange their coins for gems, for speed ups, for materials, for legendary commander sculptures, for teleports, for anything they want. Essentially, add to the shop a functionality in which you can buy items out of the shop, not only by gems, but also through barbarian coins. This should be very simple to implement, and it'll make things that much easier for everybody because it'll allow folks to grind daily and spend hours and hours in the game in order to achieve some of these items. So I think that having that as a functionality will help tremendously the community. And of course, you'd have to add into here legendary commander sculptures, which you currently can't buy, and a few other items. But overall, if you are able to exchange barbarian coins for legendary commander sculptures and some other good needed items for the day-to-day gameplay, it'll allow everybody to get ahead a little bit easier. And so barbarian coins are, in my opinion, the most important change of all 5 that I'm going to tell you. Point number 4 has a lot to do with Ark of Osiris. It's enough, Lilith. It's enough. We've had 3 seasons in which you've tried your best to separate between the realms and the kingdoms and all that. But at the end of the day, Commander Despair and Power Despair between alliances and Ark of Osiris makes the game not fun. It's time to make Ark of Osiris like Osiris Invitational. Lilith, listen. You need retention. Retention of players means more players come into the game, which means more potential spenders come into the game. The way you have retention is by having something that people look forward for every single day. And if Ark of Osiris becomes like Osiris Invitational, where everybody has all the commanders maxed out, everybody has a set amount of troops, and it's all about strategy, teamwork, and understanding game mechanics, you're going to retain a ton of players that are not even going to care about anything else but to play Ark once a week. And those players will then potentially translate into something else, into warriors, into spenders, into whatever it is. It's time to make Ark of Osiris in general a max commanders thing. And in return, though, you should probably take away the practice system, because practicing is important. But when all commanders are available and all that, then people are going to abuse that to essentially test commanders nonstop instead of actually playing Ark. So you'd have to make it so that, practice has certain requirements of something like that. Again, listen, I am all for have all the practice and all the commanders and all that, but you got to remember we got to compromise, right? We got to figure out a middle ground. So we can't ask for the whole house, but if they give us all the commanders and in return we don't have practice sessions, I feel like that would be okay. Or, at the bare minimum, practice sessions that require multiple alliances and require to actually play the match in some shape or form, or you're fined to not be able to practice for the next week or so, or something like that. But definitely we need Ark of Osiris to be balanced out, to be the one thing in this game that people can come in as a community and just rally behind and know that everybody is equal. Finally, the last point is one that is just, I don't know, I don't even know anymore. Healing is way too expensive. I understand that you guys want for people to have to heal, to have to get resources, to have to spend on resources, and yada, yada, yada. But realistically, the majority of the community prefers to buy resources from resource sellers that use bots to gather in kingdoms than to buy your damn pack for resources. Honestly, who do you think buys Bumper Harvest? The people that buy Bumper Harvest can buy this many resources, if not more, a lot more, for much cheaper than this from resource sellers. And they do it. So tell me, why are you insisting? You want there to be some money made? Let me show you how you guys made money. When you declared that 50% of troops come back at the end of Heroic Anthem, it literally made me kill 6 million troops. I killed this KVK more troops than I killed in 850 days in Rise of Kingdoms. I made it to 10 million deads in this KVK because you guys promised half of them back. Why do you not realize that making something a little bit cheaper will make people want to spend more? If you make healing a little bit cheaper, people are going to heal more, or they're going to fight more. They're going to cause more deaths, which therefore is going to cause more spending. Speed up. Somehow this needs to get cheaper. I cannot tell you which way because I don't know. But the 1,000 helps thing was great against bots, but it wrecked half of the community in the process. Less healing time, less resources. Let us have more fights. Let us enjoy more our troops. And let me tell you something. It works because I loved my troops. And I didn't see myself losing 6 million troops in one KVK because I cannot sustain a rebuild of 6 million troops every KVK. But I can sustain a rebuild of 3 million troops every KVK. Because it just made me want to play. I didn't even notice up until I opened this damn thing we're at 6 million, for crying out loud. Now granted, spoiler alert, someone caught me on the way going to loot a dude and wrecked a bunch of my sieges. So yeah, there's a little bit of T1 sieges. You guys can shame on that. I know, shame, Gekko, shame, but it happened. Anyway, these are the 5 things I think Lilith need to change in this game. I hope they listen. I hope you guys help me share this video and get the community talking about this. I hope you guys down below add some realistic things that you think Lilith can make. And remember, when you add your comments, for the love of God, to be a little more reasonable than you know, aim for the moon. At the end of the day, aim for the moon and settle for the stars is great. But in this scenario, we should aim for the stars and settle for the stars because that's what's fair. That's my opinion. I'm Gekko. I'm out of here. I'll see you all in tomorrow's stream where we'll talk about this much more. I hope you all show up to the stream and we can have a good conversation about things that need to change in Rise of Kingdoms. And I hope that now that Baba shined his light, like the light on this sword is shining a little bit on Lilith, maybe they'll start taking things more seriously. I'm a skeptic individual. I'm the kind of guy that'll tell you when I see it in the patch notes, I'll believe. But hey, I'm willing to give him a chance. I've been doing it for 2 years now. Take care. Have a great day, night, afternoon, whatever time you're watching this video. Peace.